Hello students, today we are going to learn about atmospheric pressure. Before that, let us understand what is the meaning of atmosphere. The earth is surrounded by air up to a height of about 300 km from its surface. This envelope of air around the earth is called atmosphere. Now let us understand what is the meaning of atmospheric pressure. So the thrust exerted per unit area on the earth's surface due to the column of air is called atmospheric pressure on the surface of earth. Now let us understand this in a different way. You can see the diagram slide. You can see more number of molecules at a lower height, observe carefully, and less number of molecules at a greater height. So air pressure is equal to weight of air column above unit area. Let us understand in a different way. So the average surface area of a human body is about 2 square meter. In the sense, if a person stands, he occupies exactly 2 square meter. Therefore, the atmosphere exerts a total thrust of 200,000 Newton on our body. How to understand this? Okay. Now, however, we are not aware of this enormous thrust on us because the pressure of our blood balances it. The blood pressure is slightly more than the atmospheric pressure. At higher altitude, the atmospheric pressure becomes less. Therefore, the blood pressure becomes much more than the atmospheric pressure and nose bleeding may occur due to excess blood pressure. So, this you have understood. Okay. So, even though the atmosphere is exerting 200,000 Newton on our body, we are not affected by that because our blood pressure is more than the atmospheric pressure. Therefore, we are able to manage. Here is one more slide for you to understand. Now, let us see the next slide. We are going to see the demonstration of atmospheric pressure. The first experiment will be, you are able to see the collapsing tin can experiment. The diagram is there. So, I am going to explain. You can see the diagram and understand. First diagram you can see the stopper is removed and a small quantity of water is boiled in the can. Gradually, the steam occupies the entire space of the can by expelling the air from it. That is in figure A. Now, the stopper is then tightly replaced and simultaneously the flame beneath the can is removed. Look at the second diagram. The flame is not there. It has been removed. Now, cold water is then poured over the can. It is observed that the can collapses inwards. Are you able to see the can collapsing inwards? So that is shown in figure B. The reason is that initially the pressure due to steam inside the heated can is same as the air pressure outside the can. But on pouring cold water over the can fitted with the stopper, the steam inside the can condenses. You know the steam will condense, producing water and water vapor at a very low pressure. Now, the air pressure outside the can exceeds the vapor pressure inside the closed can. Consequently, the excess atmospheric pressure outside the can causes it to collapse inwards. This demonstrates, so what is the conclusion of this experiment? This demonstrates that the atmosphere outside the can exerts a pressure which is known as atmospheric pressure. Okay, so this is a clear demonstration of atmospheric pressure. Now let us see some common consequences of atmospheric pressure. Here is a very interesting slide you are having. Okay, so you can see the slide. Sucking a drink with a straw. Observe carefully. The atmospheric pressure is already acting on the surface with the red arrows. You are able to see. So when a drink is sucked with a straw, first the air in the straw goes into your lungs, due to which the air pressure inside the straw decreases. As I am explaining, please see the diagram. The atmospheric pressure acting on the surface of the drink being more than the pressure inside the straw forces the drink to move up into the straw, which then reaches into your mouth. So this is one of the consequence of atmospheric pressure. Okay. Now let us see the next one. We are we are going to see how filling a syringe with a liquid. Okay. Here the syringe diagram is given there. The syringe is kept with its opening just inside a liquid and the plunger is lowered till its base. Now when the plunger is pulled up in the barrel, there is no air inside, and thus the pressure inside the barrel below the plunger is much less than the atmospheric pressure acting on the liquid surface. As a result, the atmospheric pressure forces the liquid to rise up in the syringe. This is how the atmospheric pressure plays a role in the syringe. Again, the next slide, what we are going to see here is, this is again a syringe only, but you can consider it as a fountain pen, filling of ink in a fountain pen. As a syringe is filled with liquid, due to the atmospheric pressure, ink also gets filled in the fountain pen. The pen is kept with its nib inside the ink. When the rubber tube of the fountain pen is squeezed, almost all the air of the rubber tube expels out from in form of bubbles through the ink. When the rubber tube is released, the pressure inside the rubber tube is much less than the atmospheric pressure acting on the ink. As a result, the ink rises into the tube through the capillary below the nib of the pen. Fine. Now we are going to see the working of action of a siphon system. You can see the diagram there. Again, siphon system also, the same thing is happening. Water is supplied from a higher level to a lower level. You would have already known about it, using a siphon system. The figure shows a siphon system in which there are two vessels, P and Q. Okay. Here, if you want, I'll... Okay, fine. Yes. There are two vessels, P and Q. Vessel P is at a higher level than the vessel Q. Now what is happening? Water contained in vessel P is passed to vessel Q by means of a glass or a rubber tube AB. You are able to see there, with one end A kept immersed inside the water in vessel P, while the other end B is kept open in vessel Q. So what we are going to do? We are going to transfer water from vessel P to vessel Q. First, air is sucked out from the lower end B of the tube. As a result, the pressure inside the tube decreases and becomes less than the atmospheric pressure acting above the water surface in vessel P. Due to excess pressure at A, water rises in the tube through the end A so as to reach up to this level C. Then water flows down through the tube from the higher level C to the lower level B in the vessel Q due to the difference of pressure at the levels C and B. I am sorry children, here P, Q, A, B, C and all is not there in the diagram. What I have done is, I have taken the diagram of a siphon system. You can see the diagram from the textbook. Okay. Now, what I am going to give some extra points about the siphon system. Here, the siphon system, you can have a doubt whether the siphon system can work at a very great height. So, you have the answer here. You cannot use a siphon system to lift water higher than 30 feet. Why? Because above that height, an empty region will be developed at the top of the pipe and stop the siphon process. So that is the reason you cannot use a siphon system at a height above 30 feet. Only till 30 feet you can use a siphon process. Okay. Now there is one more question, question of interest. See here, can you siphon from low to higher level? Now we saw the siphon system where water is transferred from a higher level towards the lower level. Is it possible for water to be carried from lower to the higher level? While if both ends of the siphon are at atmospheric pressure, imagine both ends of the siphon are at atmospheric pressure, the liquid flows from high to low. If the bottom end of the siphon is pressurized, liquid can flow from low to high also. If pressure is removed from the bottom end, the liquid flows will reverse, illustrating that it is pressure driving the siphon. So this is called as inverted siphon. So where it is used to carry sewage water or storm water from under the streams. Okay, so this is how the siphon system works. Now there are two more applications which I have not explained. That is the action of the rubber sucker. Similar is the action of rubber sucker and the method of taking oil from a sealed oil can. Okay, so these two applications you can learn on your own. Okay children, I have completed the concept of atmospheric pressure consequences, and then demonstration also. Thank you so much.